It's another new month, but comic books do not stop slowing down. You guys know that. Let's talk about all the different new comic book series that are starting in December. The new number ones that I think you guys should be checking out. I have 5 picks here from DC, 5 picks here from the indie side. If you guys are more of a Marvel reader, I'm not too sure about what's going on in there. So in the comments, let me know what are some of the new Marvel number ones that are coming out this month that you think I should check out. But let's start off with some picks from DC. First thing I want to talk about, Two-Face issue number 1. At the time of recording, this one has already come out December 4th. But man, what a great issue number 1. Definitely think this one's worth a pickup. So we have Christian Ward writing with, hopefully I don't butcher the artist name. We have Fabio Veras, and the colorist is Ivan Placencia, with letterer Hassan Asmanalehu. So the kind of setup for this is Harvey Dent is kind of back in control of the Two-Face persona. He's locked away the negative side of Two-Face, the Two-Face persona deep inside of his subconscious. And Harvey Dent is thinking that he kind of wants to get back in the DA, not gonna lie, right? So he's thinking that, he's done with all his criminal ways. He wants to get back in the good graces of, Gotham City. So his whole plan is to kind of show the DA's office that he is still has it as a lawyer. And so Two-Face, as of right now, he's kind of settling disputes between different criminal organizations. So he's acting kind of like a lawyer, but for the criminals. So he's, solving these court cases that are for criminal different organizations. So really interesting stuff here, man. I really liked issue number 1, like I was saying. I think Christian Ward's off to a great start. Great art as well. The art in this was pretty solid. It has kind of that abstract Christian Ward kind of style to it, even though he's not doing the art necessarily. So yeah, that's the first DC comic that I think you guys should check out. And this one's already out, man, so go check out your LCS, pick up Two-Face issue number 1. Next up, let's talk about Batman Dark Patterns. So this one's written from Dan Watters. I've been really liking Dan Watters' stuff recently. He's having an all-star kind of year. Of course, Dan Watters, you guys might know, he's writing the Nightwing series right now. And if you guys are seeing there, as an artist on this series, Batman Dark Patterns, we have Hayden Sherman coming on. Hayden Sherman is the artist for Absolute Wonder Woman, so if that name looks familiar, that's definitely why. Hayden Sherman is such an excellent artist. I've been really enjoying Hayden Sherman's other series, Into the Unbeing. That series is really great as well, but just excited for more Hayden Sherman content. I think Hayden Sherman is just such an excellent artist. Really looking forward to Batman Dark Patterns here. It seems like this one is going to be like a real detective look at Batman. So he's going to be solving 4 different cases. This first issue is part 1 of case number 1. I'm not sure how many issues of this series that are going to be, once it's all said and done. But I'm excited about it, man. Another Batman series, right? Of course, DC, no stranger to making a new Batman series. But with Dan Watters and Hayden Sherman coming on, this one is not one to miss. I'm definitely looking forward to this. So yeah, Batman Dark Patterns. Next up, coming out on December 18th. So next week at the time of me recording this, we've got the New Gods issue number 1. I am so excited for this, man. So we have Ron V coming on. Ron V is another comic book creator that's having an all-star year. Been really loving pretty much everything that Ron V's been doing. We also have Evan Cagle as the artist. He's going to be the main series artist, but it looks like we also have some work from Jorge Fornes, which I really like Fornes' style, so really excited about that as well. And then the colorist on here, we have Francesco Segala, who one of the most accomplished colorists. Every time I feel like I open up a comic book, it seems like Segala is one of the ones coloring it, right? So looking forward to that. And if you guys didn't catch Evan Cagle's work on Dawn Runner, also written by Ron B, that's where kind of this partnership started up, really. They just work super well together. Definitely looking forward to the new New God series, man. This is going to be my first New God series. I've never read New Gods before. Don't necessarily know if this is the best place to start, but I'm looking forward to, man. I think Ron V has got us covered. For all you, longtime New Gods fans, I think Ron V, don't worry about it. I think Ron V's got us covered there. So yeah, this one looks pretty interesting. Covers look great too. So yeah, looking forward to that. The New Gods. Next one I want to talk about is Challengers of the Unknown. So this one was interesting to me. I'm not too familiar with the old Challengers of the Unknown series, but if you're looking on the cover here, we do get some familiar faces. We have Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman. So it seems like the Challengers of the Unknown are maybe at least in this first issue, they're going to be teaming up with the Trinity to help. It says down here they're going to be sealing rifts that threaten the galaxy. So yeah, I don't know too much about you know, the challenges of the unknown. I'm not too sure what to expect from the series really. Even the creative team I'm not that familiar with. Christopher Cantwell, he's doing that Plastic Man No More series, which I'm having a lot of fun checking that one out. So I think Christopher Cantwell should be a great writer for this series. I think the artist, I think he was working on Green Arrow, Joshua Williamson's Green Arrow. So I wasn't, you know, the biggest fan of that series, but definitely wasn't because of the art. I think the art was really solid in it. So yeah, this will be an interesting series to check out. Not too sure how many issues are even gonna be in this series, but Challenge of the Unknown, issue number 1, December 18th. Interesting little creative team there, and then we get the Trinity, right? So at least there'll be some familiar faces. So yeah, that's the 4th DC comic book I want to talk about in the month of December. Last DC book, Metamorpho. December 26th is coming out, so right after Christmas, I guess. Yeah, let's read this description, right? So, to know him is to love him, that fab freak who can change himself into any element in the human body. He's the one and only Rex Mason, alias Metamorpho, but can he win out against Cyclops, the hairy eyeball of crime that gazes from the top of the pop charts to the lowest depths of evil? So yeah, interesting stuff here. I'm not too familiar with Metamorpho, man. I really like when he pops up in a series, but I've never read a Metamorpho like solo title. I'm not even sure if there is such a thing. But yeah, Metamorpho, the Element Man. We have Al Ewing coming on as a writer. That's interesting to me, man. So of course, Al Ewing's doing Immortal Hulk. He's done Immortal Hulk. He's doing Immortal Thor right now over at Marvel, and then coming up soon, he's going to be doing Absolute Green Lantern. I'm very excited for that, man. I think Al Ewing has got the stuff, dude. Really like Al Ewing as a writer. And then the artist is Steve Lieber, who I'm not totally familiar with, but as a colorist, we get Lee Lou Ridge, one of the best colorists in the game, obviously. A lot of classic series under that guy's belt. But yeah, for Steve Lieber, I'm not too sure what Steve's past work is looking like. Let's see, recently he's been working on... Yeah, I'm not too sure about Steve Lieber's other work. I think I follow him on like Blue Sky or whatever. He's got a great style, but you know, I'm not too sure what to expect from this series, to be honest with you guys. Definitely want to check it out though. All the DC All-In stuff has been super solid. All the number ones are at least worth checking out in my opinion. So that's what we got for the DC side. Let's talk about some of the indie picks that I picked out for the month of December. The first one I want to talk about is The City Beneath Her Feet. This is from DSTLRY. I'm a huge fan of DSTLRY, you guys might know that. They've been doing nothing but great stuff, and check this out. I don't even need to read the description. Just look at this creative team, right? James Tynion IV. Elsa Charretier, who, you guys can't see, it's just out of frame there, but I have a Love Everlasting poster on my ceiling. Big fan of Elsa Charretier's work. Really like Elsa's style. Colorist, we got Jordi Belair. I mean, what else needs to be said there? Jordi Belair, just such an excellent colorist. And then for a letterer, Aditya Bidikar. Hopefully I'm saying that right, but one of the best letters in the game, man. So this is like the most stacked creative team, you know, in a really long time. This is one of my most anticipated picks in a while. I'm not even too sure what the series is about, but just the creative team and Elsa Charretier's art, James Tynion writing. This series should be really good. Yeah, it looks like for fans of Strangers in Paradise, Kill Bill, and Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So, you know, if this is kind of like a, looks like it's an action thriller love story. So we know that Elsa Charretier can do really great love stories from the series Love Everlasting, written by Tom King. And then, you know, this is kind of like a new genre for James Tynion IV. I don't know if I've ever seen him doing like an action thriller type of story. Maybe typically it's like a thriller, maybe like a horror. So this might be a really interesting series to check out. DSTLRY and yeah, that creative team. So City Beneath Her Feet. I actually have it right here on the side. This comes out on December 11th. So you know, the week I'm filming this comes out. But just look at that cover, man. Just look at that cover. I was looking up. DSTLRY sent it to me. Gift from DSTLRY. All that good stuff. Next series I want to talk about also comes from DSTLRY. I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but we've got Warm Fusion issue number 1. I've also got this one here. I'm not a shill for DSTLRY, I promise you guys. They just put out really great comic books. This one is in the future, cyberpunk, and it's got, you know, like a detective trying to solve a crime. That is just a recipe for, hey, Cody's gonna buy your book. Dark sci-fi thriller that mixes body horror of David Cronenberg with the bleak urban future of Blade Runner. For fans of Videodrome, The Thing, and RoboCop. I mean, you're speaking sweet things in my ear, dude. I'm looking forward to checking out Warm Fusion. I don't know too much about this creative team. You know, obviously we do have work coloring by Lee Luridge again. Letterer Steve Wands, familiar with his work. But Alberto Ponticelli and Scott Hoffman, I'm not sure about, you know, any of their past works, but interesting setup, man. I'm interested in checking this out. It's like in the future. It looks like there's been, you know, a terrorist organization that's causing people to have just crazy radiation, genetic mutations, and yeah, they're trying to find the killer or killers, right? So just your classic detective story in a future setting. I'm a huge fan of that. Recipe for Cody's gonna buy your book, like I was saying. Next book, and this is the last one from DSTLRY, right? I'm not trying to be a shill for DSTLRY, but I just want to talk about it quickly. It's Through the Bows, a Yuletide offering. So this is like a Christmas anthology, but it's Christmas horror anthology series. So yeah, if you're looking for something to get you in the kind of Christmas mood, definitely check that out. I believe this also comes out the week that I'm recording this. So that's something to check out. Another series that I want to point out really quickly from Giant Generator. This comes out on December 26th, day after Christmas. So it looks like this one is going to be taking place in the Dust Bowl, like the Great Depression era. And it looks like this one is going to be a new, you know, a serial killer type of story, but it's at the height of the, you know, Dust Bowl, Great Depression era. That's an interesting setup, man. I'm always down for a detective type of story, but I think this one's got a really interesting setting. You know, the Oklahoma Panhandle. So even though I'm not familiar with Phil Brom and J.G. Jones, I'm interested in checking this series out. And if you guys look up there, Giant Generator, that's Rick Remender's little imprint that he's got going on over at Image Comics. So if you know, if Rick Remender's saying this is a series to check out, I'll definitely be checking it out. So that's Dust to Dust, issue number 1, December 26th. Almost done here, guys. We got a couple more. Man, where do we want to go to next? Let's talk about In Bloom. This will be the last one. In Bloom from Boom Studios. So this one has a super interesting setup. Boom Studios has been doing really great stuff lately. If you guys have been checking out Boom Studios stuff, you don't need me telling you that. But something about, there's like a symbiotic fungal megasystems that infect humans. So some people grew new body parts, some people found their personalities change in radical ways. Some reported contact with other intelligence not their own, right? So this series just has a crazy setup. It looks like down below it also talks another agent story, someone going detective, trying to figure out the mystery. I'm a sucker for those kind of stories, that's why I put it on the list. But it says that if you're fans of The Last of Us, Blade Runner, Annihilation, this is definitely one to check out. I like all those things, man, so I'll be checking this one out. For a creative team, we have Michael Conrad and John Pearson. John Pearson, I believe, what has John Pearson worked on? Mindset. Okay, dude, so Mindset was one of the best sci-fi series I've ever read, written by Zach Kaplan, one of the greatest sci-fi comic book writers of all time. So if Mindset, John Pearson, is doing this series, then this is definitely one to check out, because that just looked beautiful. Especially if John Pearson is doing the coloring as well, right? Like, it just says he's the artist here, so that should be great. Michael Conrad, let's look back at what he's worked on in the past. Some stories in Hello Darkness, all right. Says some work for Nightwing. Is that? I'm not sure. Maybe he was like a. Yeah, I'm not sure about Michael Conrad's other past work, but John Pearson, man, that should be a great one. So yeah, that comes out December 11th. So the week that I'm recording this comes out tomorrow, actually. But Boom Studios, In Bloom #1. Those are all the different comic books that are starting in December. Again, those are all new #1s. You can go to your local comic book store and check all those series out. Tell them that you want those different issues if they sound interesting to you. The app that I was using, by the way, a lot of people ask me this. This is League of Comic Geeks, so available on the App Store. Definitely check it out. Make yourself an account and track your different pull lists. You can see all the different comic books that are coming out for months and months. And yeah, keep track of it that way. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what comic book series you're excited for in the month of December. Thank you guys for watching, and read more comics.